just for once, the unfairness of it all works in our favour. Because the government don't recognise us as man and wife, you're free to marry somebody else.
Hayley, I'm married to you.
I know, but...
You're the only woman I ever want to be married to.
Right, it's a legal document, a piece of paper.
One that we don't have.
Well, does that make you feel any less married? Are we less of a married couple than anybody else?
I am married to you in body and soul and in everything that matters.
Exactly.
But I can't just suddenly unmarry you.
You wouldn't have to.
Well, in that case, I think you're talking about me committing bigamy.
So you're thinking like a boy already.
It's not funny, Hayley.
No, I'm sorry. But it's not bigamy either. You wouldn't be married to Tracy in any way that really counts. And once a baby's born, you could divorce her and nobody'd even know.
Well, I'd know.
As things stand, she could hand over the baby, we could hand over the money, and then she could change her mind and we'd lose everything. She could say that somebody else was the father or that she wanted to bring up the child on her own, and there's nothing we could do about it.
I just don't like the idea of history recording my marriage to her and not to you.
They're talking about changing the law for couples like us. It might even have happened by the time you divorce Tracy.
I'll believe it when it happens.
Yeah, but if it has, then we could get married legally and have our own child at the service with us. Wouldn't that be lovely? And even if it hasn't, we'd still be a real family and nobody could say any different. That baby belongs to us, Roy. And I don't care what Tracy says or what she does in the future, she is not fit to bring our baby up.
The day you first found out about this, you left me.
Things change.
You told me that you were always afraid that you could never make me truly happy. That I'd always want something more, but I don't, and I never will. You're everything to me, Hayley. You're the only woman I'll ever want. Will you ever doubt that again?
No.
Right. Then I'll ask her to marry me. I'll do it today, get it over with. But I need you to be there with me. Keep everything above board.
Just what is this about, Roy?
I think we should wait for Hayley to get here. She won't be long.
Look, take no notice of my mum and dad. Wally Bannister's got naught to do with this, baby. You're just going to have to take my word for that.
I met him yesterday.
What?
I went to see Mr. Bannister.
How did you do that?
Ken gave me his phone number.
He's got no right to do that.
I had to know the truth, Tracy. Now let's just wait for Hayley to get here.
The truth? Wally Bannister doesn't know the truth. He doesn't know when my last period was. Anyway, you can't believe a word that man says. He's a con man and he's a liar.
Well, he told me the baby couldn't possibly be his.
Did he?
He spoke quite movingly of his infertility. He said he contracted mumps as a teenager. Now, I know he fooled you into believing that he was a millionaire, but I'm sure he was telling the truth about this.
Yeah, well, it's not the sort of thing a man lies about, is it, firing blanks?
No.
Right. So you know he can't be the father?
I am convinced of that, yes.
Good. So I'm here for an apology, am I?
Well, I do apologise to Tracy if over the last few days our behaviour has upset you in any way.
Oh, well, just a bit, yeah.
I've got you a little present. It's a gesture of goodwill, peace offering. It's antenatal massage cream. I'm sure it's very good for stretch marks.
Sorry I'm a bit late.
Now then, let's get down to business. Oh, we are now convinced that Mr. Bannister is not the father. This whole episode has put a certain element of doubt in our minds.
Look, trust me.
Why should we trust you?
If you were suddenly to change your mind...
I won't.
But if you did...
Look, are we talking paternity tests here? Because if we are, it's not a problem. Look, when the time comes, I'll hand over the baby, you hand over the money. You can take it away, you can do as many paternity tests as you like. I couldn't care less.
It's not just a question of that. If after the birth you were to change your mind...
Oh, this is my mum, isn't it? Look, don't take any notice of her. I'm not interested in maternal bonds out like that.
You don't know how you're going to feel after the birth.
Look, the baby's yours.
If circumstances were to change...
Oh, am I wasting my breath here?
For whatever reason, if they were to change, the fact is, I don't actually have any legal rights.
What makes you think that?
We have taken some advice on the matter.
We're not as daft as you think.
Right then, so what's this going to take? Do you want some sort of contract?
In a way.
Okay. Then why don't we swap IOUs? I owe you one baby. Does that make you happy?
It wouldn't be legally binding.
Because this arrangement is basically illegal.
We have been advised that the only way that I can have any legal rights is if you and I were man and wife at the time of delivery.
What?
So, will you marry me, Tracy? Please, let me explain.
No way.
Nobody'd ever know. It'd all be done in secret.
If it's a question of conjugal rights, I can assure you...
Forget it. It's not going to happen.
It'd mean the baby wouldn't be born out of wedlock.
You've got no chance.
Perhaps I should have gone down on one knee.
You give her presents, she throws them back in your face. You try to be reasonable, she doesn't listen. We've got to be more assertive.
I can't force her to marry me.
No, but we can't just trust her either.
What else can we do?
When we forced the issue by telling Ken and Deirdre she was pregnant, she just had to deal with it, and it worked to our advantage, so let's force the issue again.
How?
Before I go back to work, let's go round to her house and lay down the law. Let's tell her either she marries you or the deal's off.
I just think it's a very dangerous strategy.
What other strategy have we got? Wait and see, fingers crossed.
What if she calls our bluff?
What's the worst thing she could do?
Have an abortion.
Well, she's past that stage now. She could have done that in the beginning.
She was going to.
But money talked, and it always will talk to her.
She said she thought about it again after we told Ken and Deirdre.
But she didn't do it. She was so angry with us, but she didn't do it because all she cares about is money. You only have to look at how she behaved with Wally Bannister to see that. So if we can convince her that she's going to lose the money, if she thinks we really mean what we say, then in the end she'll have to marry you.
Will you do all the talking?
Okay. But let's get it clear in our heads what we're going to say first. We mean what we say.
I mean what we say.
We'll show her.
We will.
No more Mr. Nice Guy.
No more Mr. Nice Guy.
Oh, come to give me an engagement ring.
Right, listen to us, Tracy. We don't trust you and we want some guarantees. Now, you expect us to believe that for £20,000 you could go through the agony of childbirth and then hand over your own baby?
Yeah.
And yet you won't go through a secret 5-minute wedding service and a quickie divorce?
That's about the size of it.
Well, we think that if you're not prepared to commit to the latter...
Then you have no intention of going through with the former.
What?
In other words, we don't believe you. So, either you prove your commitment by marrying Roy...
Or the whole deal's off.
Right then. Deal's off.